Austria, midway point, isn't it?
It is, indeed. We are 2 rounds down, 2 rounds to go qualifying before the 1 hour final.
It's the endurance day today, and it certainly feels like it. The kind of atmosphere in the pits is that there's people that want to do a lot better than they did yesterday, and they're maybe not finding that extra speed they wanted.
It's very serious out there. It's a difficult race to get through the pack, so it's this reverse geared. Do you stay in the middle? Do you just settle for there or thereabouts? Do you push too far? Who knows? Should we look at the Heat 2 to see what happened there?
Let's do it.
And they're off and they're away, and it's a good clean start, and it is in fact, it looks like it's Neumann who's retained the lead. Annoyingly, he's changed his body since yesterday as well, so he now has a white body, but Ogden and Neumann fighting for it as they go through the patio hairpin the first time, just catching at the back of them. It does seem, I think Martin has got third, so 1, 2 and 3 got away in order. Apologies for that. And then fourth looks like it might be Boots, but I think he got hopped over there, so no, it's not. So a little bit of gap now as Neumann pulls away, because we've lost the battle for Ogden. Ogden lost out for a second, so it's now Neumann from Martin, and then Mort and Ronefalk. Barufalo has come up from the back. Ongaro, and Ongaro's in 9th. So Barufalo's come from 13th to 5th, and Ongaro has got to 9th. Barufalo and Ronefalk, who are battling for third, though, are dragging themselves up to Martin as we get to halfway through the race. And Barufalo made a mistake there, and Mark Ruffalo's probably racing, so we've got the Hulk on board over Barufalo. So you've got Ronefalk now moving forward to see if he can catch up with Martin. And we've lost Canas, so Canas has retired. I think it was Canas. Got a glimpse of the shell, and now Lee Martin has a major problem on his backside, and that is David Ronefalk, the Swede, the 2016 world champion, that was HP Performer Racing, but now he just had a bit of a half check up, and now he's got Barufalo. So second, third and fourth are all around each other. Ronefalk looking up the inside of him. He's come over the Infinity. Oh, and Martin just a bit too wide. Oh, a little bit check pass there. That was quite interesting. He came in fairness, he's lost 2 places, and then Ronefalk makes a mistake. And so Barufalo now picks up second, Ronefalk third, Martin's third with the attention of battle behind. But second and third is where the action is. But have they, with just 3 laps to go, got enough time to do anything about your Neumann? Suddenly, Barufalo makes a bit of a pig's ear of the big drip, and they're back together again. They fight on this now, their last lap. For the second overall, Neumann long away, and nothing but a tumble into the weeds is going to stop Neumann winning his round of RCGP and gaining a point. But this second and third, where it's all about diving into the hot race corner. Ronefalk needs to look and see what he can do. He comes under on the patio section. Will he spin around the hairpin? Can he get the drive? Pushing hard up the little hop. Now over the infinity jump and coming sweep round over the triple, double, single. This is where Ronefalk's not being quick. This time he's good, but he's only got a few corners to get round. Just so you know, you'll probably just see flashing ahead is the white body shell of your Neumann, but it's looking good for Barufalo because it's going to take a bit of a do or die move now around this last corner, and round they go, and it is Barufalo second, but more importantly, Neumann wins.
We are utterly baked in sunlight. Oh, it's so beautiful here in Austria. It's round 4 of the RCGP World Series, and you've just been looking at a little highlights package of qualifying round 2. It's qualifying races. We're approaching the halfway stage of the season, in fact, which is interesting to think about. Yeah, it's true though, isn't it? Round 4 of 8. I could see, and you could see there, Canas obviously didn't get what he wanted out of that. Who's going to be needing to make a big change and have some more luck or some more speed in this next one?
The person who's doing particularly badly, who's full regular of the season, is Cole Ogden. Cole Ogden is currently qualifying last after 2 poor performances, well, 2 poor bad luck situations. He's got very few points. Misha Vidmar towards Patrick Hoffer having a second bad day in a row. He can't buy a break at the moment. Canas, as you said, 1 breakdown's a problem, so you have to carry that result. At the front, though, obviously, Ongaro and Barufalo, but it's David Ronefalk who's in third with 2 third places, so sneaking under the radar can be the way to go.
A terrible day for him yesterday. Couldn't really put his finger on what it was. Obviously, he had engine trouble in one of them, but all the others were different reasons. Do you think he's put that behind him?
I think he's decided a bit more sensible with the whole thing and kind of relax about it. I think you have to kind of have a more long-term view. There's a lot of panicking to get to the front, and now it's like, okay, it's not going to come. They found the track won't come to them. They have to relax rather than just push it. And they're always going, I'm much calmer now, I'm much calmer, and I get better results.
It's interesting because Barufalo came out fighting and he was too aggressive at first, and he said he had to ease off because Mao was just mauling him after every race. So then he slowed down, and then he said after the first one, I'm going in again. I'm going to come out aggressive again.
No, he's not done that. He's letting the first couple of laps come to him and then going for it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a very important point because the thing about this track is it's all about the speed. It's all about the power. It's all about the engine.
I'm being fearless.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, you can hear the engines in the background, which is a great segue.
Thank you for because what we have managed to do is bring you a special little chat and an inside look at these fantastic 3.5cc engines, more power than an F1 engine per cc. Take it away, Mario Rossi. So we are with Mario Rossi from Reds Engines to talk about the motive power for these RCGP machines. Mario, can you give us a quick overview of the power and the performance of a little tiny engine like that?
Perfetto, questo motore qua nasce
After many years of experiments and tests with the best drivers in the world, we managed to come out with this new platform, and it's top notch about RPM and mileage and everything, and right now they are really happy on how it is performing into any kind of fields.
So how many RPM will that engine run to?
From 30,000 to 45,000.
And of course they produce a lot of horsepower. How many horsepower on that engine has?
It's around 2 HP.
So with 2 horsepower from 3.5cc, that makes it perhaps the most powerful racing engine in the world, more powerful than MotoGP per cc, more powerful than F1?
If not more, they are close.
Could you take it apart for us? The line of all the holes, the ports there. How do you design the line?
The ports are really important for the mileage because the position of the ports indicates the mileage and the flux of the fuel into the engine.
Looking at the crankshaft, is that now a standardized design?
So it's actually an old design, but it can be tuned more than this because if you do other holes, the risk is to break it, or maybe the improvement is not so huge.
So one thing we've not talked about is the thing that's stuck on top of the motor, the carburettor. I mean, is that now a standard part, or is the Red's carburettor different from somebody else?
They worked a lot on it, and the most important part is that part because it's what delivers the power to the engine. It depends on the length, and they change the characteristic of the engine. The needle is really, really important more than anything else. The main needle is not so important as the low needle.
The 3.5cc racing engine has been around now for 40 years. How big are the improvements left to make?
Now they reach almost their full potential, but right now the point where they are focusing on are materials.
Well, power is all important, but so is good luck. And no luck so far for Cole Ogden. Cole even started in the front last time, but it didn't work out for you. What's been going wrong?
Everything. Just bad luck, you know. Like you said, if you don't have any luck, then you're not going to do good, I guess. So.
Starting, I think, off the 3 spot this time, so you've got a chance to get through. But, I mean, what can you do in the first lap to make sure you're at least still third at the end of that first lap?
Try not to pass on the first lap. Just let things unfold first and then see what we can do after that.
Robert Bataille spoke to him before the last race, and he thought that some of the drivers were panicking in the first couple of laps, trying to make too much up in the first few corners. That's right?
Yeah, it's everybody's on the first lap kind of treats it like it's the last, and it's kind of annoying, but, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Best luck, Cole. Thank you very much. And in our conversation with people who are not having a great time so far, Misha Vidmaier, again, not going so well these first 2 races.
Yeah, it was not my races. I did too many mistakes, and also at the start was not always perfect because so tight in the first two corners, and then yeah.
When the cars all sweep around that first corner, is there anything you can do, or is it just hoping for the best and praying for luck?
Maybe only to hope for the best because it's so tight and everybody wants to go fast, so fast as possible. Yeah, it's very difficult because then maybe sometimes 3 cars are next to each other in the corners, and then
What happened? I mean, obviously you've not had much good luck, but when you've had the car in clear air, is it going well? Is the car handling well? It's just a case of getting better luck?
Yeah, the car is very good. Also, when I'm at the back after the start and I can drive for my own, then the car is very good. So just the luck at the start.
Misha, we wish you luck. Thank you very much for talking to us. So, Misha Widmeyer, we started second on pole. It's Juan Carlos Canas who actually broke down in the last race. But let's find out about the rest of the grid from young Matt.
Grid coming up in just a few moments. Thank you to BeachRC.com, HB Racing, P1 Performer Racing, Infinity, Comsport, MX, Scuderia, Scampi Rosso, S-Works and JQ Racing. They're the teams. But where do the drivers stack up? Well, Juan Carlos Canas is going to be on pole. Mika, who we just heard from, he's in position 2. And Cole, those two not having it their own way. Position 4 will be Patrick Hoffer, also struggling. And Joseph Quagrain, who just seems to dwell around the middle of the pack, is in 5th. Elliot Boots is in 6th. Max Mort will be in 7th. 8th, we'll see Kyle McBride. 9th, Lee Martin. 10th will be Davide Ongaro. This is where it starts to get to the fast guys in the previous heat. 11th, Robert Battier. 12th, David Ronefalk, finally managing to turn things round. 13th will be Marco Bruffalo. And in 14th, last qualifying race winner, the S-Works driver from Germany, Jorn Neumann. Will he be able to make up some positions and get from the back to the front, as is the RCGP World Series way? If you finish at the front of a qualifying race, you go to the back, and the whole grid is reversed. So whoever is the fastest and on pole in that endurance final at the end of today is genuinely the fastest, because they have been from back to front several times. In fact, I think we've only seen that happen twice in a row, and that was Canas in the Philippines in round 1 or 2. In round 2, so that was endurance day. So it is endurance day here in Austria at the Fairing, fantastic WMW Fairing Club facility. What a great way to kick off the RCGP of Europe. This is the end of the Austrian stage today. Then we head over to Asti. What a facility over in Italy. For the sprint day on the Saturday and endurance Sunday. And that's the way it's going to stack up. But back to here, back to endurance, back to Nick, and back to the second half of the qualifying races. It's time for Q3 with the finest commentator, not just in RC, but in motorsport. It is Mr. Nick Damon.
He's too kind, and it only costs £5. Okay, so we are getting ready, the 3-minute warm-up period where they just make sure everything's carved up right. But at these points, really, they're pretty much aware of what's going on before they start these 10-lap races. Juan Carlos Canas starting on pole has got to be a good bet for some major points. He, of course, he's at the back, not through any issue of lack of speed, because he broke down in the last one. Widmeyer running in second. He could be just an open meet for the other drivers, who knows. Ogden, spoke to him just a second ago. Again, he's been quick in various other places, just not particularly here today. So it's more a case of he's just not getting the rub of the green. And there's an awful lot of rub of the green needed, because when they come up that straight off the F1 style start, you need a bit of luck, because there's 14 cars going into 2 corners. So you're new to RCGP, everything is a race. This is a qualifying race, it's the 3rd qualifying race of the day. There are 4 in total. You race for 10 laps, so it says 9 because the first lap doesn't count because of the way it says. 9 3/4 laps you race for. From a Formula 1 grid start, the grid is decided as the reverse order of the previous race's results. So the winner of the last race starts at the back. And you get points for that. And the person with the least number of points, it's 1 point for a win, will be on pole for the 1-hour final, which is currently due to start at 6 o'clock local time, 5 o'clock UK. Midday East Coast, 9 o'clock in the morning West Coast, later in the day in places like the Philippines and Australia. It might be the following morning actually in both of those. As you can see, grid start on pole, which is the right hand side, is the S-Works of Juan Carlos Canas from the S-Works International team, but from the S-Works Europe team is Misha Widmeyer in second. Cole Ogden from HB Performer is in 3rd, and Patrick Hoffer from Scuderia Scampi Rosso, that's Comsport MX, are in 4. Then you have Quagreen, Joseph, quite well known in the world of RC, starting 5, and then Boots, Moore, McBride, Martin, Ongaro, Battle, Waterford, Barifra, they're away. And a good start by Canas, and a relatively good start, I think, also there from Ogden. So Ogden and Canas go out in first and second. In third place, Vidmar in the all green. Oh, and Ogden already getting a little bit of a tickle at the back of Canas's wheels. Now, the question really is what the people who are leading the points, which is Runnerfalk. Oh, and Ogden's rolled out, I think, from... there's Runnerfalk, Ongaro, and Bariflo who are leading the points. Bariflo's made a brilliant start here right now. I can see Bariflo from the back is already into 5th. So, Bariflo meaning business in this round 4. So, Canas goes to the first. It's Canas, Ogden, Boots. Bariflo's in 4th from last. It's quite remarkable. Right, drop back to 3rd and 4th, which is Boots in the light orange and Bariflo, mainly because we've not seen much of it. This is Boots' first attempt to be anywhere near the front. So Boots now is looking to catch up to the top 2 who are running together. So Canas is just a small gap ahead of Ogden. Boots in the orange and white car, the S-Sports International team, he is running in 3rd. And you've got Barifalo from Beach RC, made a mistake, so he's out of the running. So Barifalo's going well, he don't want a really long-winded piece of marshallery, means that he's now been slightly dropped out. So it's now 1, 2, 3. Let's move forward back to Ogden again, because 2nd and 1st are right together. So Ogden now looking to get up the inside of Canas. You've got Boots hanging on for dear life. They bump into the hairpin here. Hot race hairpin. Absolute maximum speed to maximum braking as they sharply turn left. Now on the slidey hairpin where you can't use maximum brakes, a couple of thing wide. So the S-Works with Canas, the blue and the silver car. Cole Ogden we talked to you before with the HP Performer with the yellow car into purple, and then stalking them the double European champion, or double former European champion, Elliot Boots with the S-Works, which is pink and white, and certainly Boots is coming more towards Ogden, and they're getting away with Boots. And then 4th place now is Ongaro. So Ongaro's 4th. Bariflo just moved to 6th again after his accident. So the fast guys are coming, and we are just 3 laps of the 10 down, or 2 of the 9s, it says in there. So Boots fires it in through the patio section, up at the sort hub, over the Infinity. He's got the inside, can he get it? No, it's kind of a foreshortening angle. It makes you look like there's a much bigger gap inside Ogden than there actually was. Boots now up and over the sewer plates. Now, interestingly, what's happening is that they're being caught up, and for overtaking, Ongaro now is right with Boots. So Boots and Ongaro battling over 3rd. Ongaro's found some speed in this one. So Ongaro and Boots down the main straight. They've let Ogden get away. Ogden's in corresponding with the battling he was doing. Boots has let Canas get away. So now Ongaro, the man who's won all 3 rounds of RCGP so far, and is currently equal to be on pole. He's got to get past Elliot Boots, a man who's raced many times in European Championships. Now, interestingly, Boots, after that kind of slight wobble by going far too wide at the corner, is now holding Ongaro at bay and beginning to come back to Ogden. But the good news for this is it's not really playing into Canas's lead. So Canas carries on leading. Much better corner there from Boots. As you saw, he didn't lose hours of time sliding out. Ongaro, though, has some real pace in that car. That thing is flying as it goes on the fast speed. Just, oh, look, he had so much. He goes drifting towards the back end of the 3rd of the 4 corners round the circuit. They go at full weight. Now breaking into patio section. Now Ogden managing to maintain a gap as Boots possibly has one eye behind himself, one eye as well as ahead. As Boots desperately tries to keep the tight line, what may be his first top 3 finish we've seen from him at this RCGP. Oh, and Ongaro looking at the inside. Ongaro hunting all around. Canas still leading comfortably. It's going to be about 3 seconds, I think, his lead. And that's 2.7. Then you have Ogden, and then you have, of course, this is the battle of the 3rd, which you can see on your screen, and we are turning lap 6 of 9. So there's 2.5 laps to go. Ongaro now looking for, he's kind of looking left, looking right. Pretty certain if he gets past Boots, he'll be able to pull away quite quickly. So he might get as far. Oh, and Ogden makes a mistake and loses a few yards. It's going to throw him right into the battle here between Boots and Ongaro. So Canas leads still about 3 seconds. Ogden has dropped back. So now 2nd, 3rd and 4th are together as they with 2 laps to go. There might be 3 laps to go. To check which he... And there's a problem in the back there for Runnerfalk because these 3 cars continue running around together. So Ongaro's made a mistake. Ongaro's made a mistake and dropped the back of Boots. So Ongaro doesn't lose a position with that mistake. Ongaro made a light mistake, didn't lose a position. And then, so a mistake also made by Boots. So Boots has made a mistake. Ongaro made a mistake, which has been, they both dropped right off the leader. So now down to 7. Ogden made a mistake. So Ogden now, pick up with Boots. Boots right behind Ogden. Ogden rolled the car coming into the corner in front of the pit straight, and he rolled it in exactly the right amount to give Boots a sniff of getting past him. So the battle of second is back on from looking like it's going to be a dull, uninteresting last couple of laps. Now it's all on. That was a surprising mistake from Ogden now. He just basically got grip roll at full whack, turning left in front of the pit straight, and now he's got Boots back on his tail again. Boots flies double in the single. It's a really tricky triple that way. It's just not spaced right for the cars. Sliding down with the S-Works, the orange and white machine of Boots against the yellow and the purple machine of Ogden. And what's happened there also is Ongaro's now getting back to it here. Boots looking very, very racy, and they are being the last lap. So Canas is still happily a long, long way away, but this is where the battle is on the last lap. One car's Canas for S-Works leading. Cole Ogden for AP Former in second. S-Works international teammate of Canas is Boots is in third. Ongaro's going to get the reasonable points, but he's just drifting back. As they come up and over the up the inside, and Boots is going to get him. He's got it. So Boots takes second. Just got up the inside of Ogden there with his 4 corners to go. They're coming over the hill, and he slid over the hill. Canas, let me tell you, he's going to win this one. Canas wins. But, and Boots has blown it on the last corner. And now is he going to lose the next position as well? But no, also has blown it. But amazingly, also who had blown it was Ongaro. So third is Barufalo. Last lap action. Wow. Canas won it easily. Ogden was going to drop down third, ended up second. Barufalo's come back because in the last lap, both Boots and Ongaro made mistakes. In came Barufalo for a points haul. Ongaro drops to 6 after error on the last lap. Mort comes in 5th. The big winners, Ogden and Barufalo. Fantastic finish to the race.
So as Nick makes his way over to the interview area, that gives me the opportunity to go through the grid with you one more time. The results are as follows. 1 as Juan Carlos Canas in position 2, Cole Ogden. 3, Marco Barufalo. 4, Elliot Boots. 5, Max Moore. 6, David Ongaro. 7, Lee Martin. 8, Joseph Quagrain. 9, Robert Battier. 10, David Ronnefolk. 11, Carl McBride. 12, Jorn Neumann. 13, Mika Vidmeier. And in position 14, Patrick Hoffer. So we're just waiting for Nick to round up the drivers. I'm sure we'll hear from him momentarily.
With Juan Carlos Canas. Juan Carlos, well, that was from last time when he broke down. What a great victory.
I broke in the last servo, and now I start the first. I don't have any mistake, and I got the first place.
It's easy from the front, isn't it?
Yes, for the first it's super easy.
How is the car handling?
Yes, the car was super good, and engine too, and tires too.
Brilliant. Thank you, Juan Carlos. Great stuff. That's our winner. And now I'm going to pull in the man. I am now officially your lucky charm, Cole, because you spoke to me, and not only did you get second place, you also lucked out when Elliot crashed in the last corner.
Yeah, it was a good race there at the end, and I was just trying to put in smooth laps, and I pushed out a little wide in the low, and he got me. But yeah, it was a lucky break when he overshot. I knew he would push to try to keep me off, but right there, you got to be slow. So yeah, you're my lucky charm. So hopefully you can talk to me some more and give me some more luck, and because I need it.
You can rub my lucky head. No, don't do it. On a serious point, though, I mean, how close is it from being comfortable to pushing and the accident? Is it like just a tiny amount? Is it very much a switch?
Yeah, there's definitely times where you can push and times where you can't. My car now is where I can drive it on the edge, but I like to just back it down a little bit and put in clean laps. But now it's, I'm getting there, and we're learning as we go.
Brilliant, thank you indeed, Cole. So that is the third of 4 qualifying races done. When we look at the overall results, it will show Marco Barufalo leading and David Ongaro second, but it's now going to be really tight behind them. So literally qualifying 4 is going to be unmissable here at round number 4 of RCGP in Austria.